Hey guys, so in today's lecture, we are going to continue the vibration chapter. So, in this chapter, till now, we have seen various types of vibration: free vibration, forced vibration, damped, undamped, linear, etc. So, today we are going to see the equation of motion. So, what are the equation of a particular vibratory motion? So to find out the equation of motion, we will use three methods. So to find out a natural frequency with the help of this equation of, of the free longitudinal vibration. So we'll use which vibration we are considering: free longitudinal vibration. So it is free longitudinal vibration. So what does free means? Free means no forces has been applied, and it is and also undamped. So there is no damper. And longitudinal means it is moving in up and down direction, that is in with respect to the axis with respect to the axis of the spring. So this is uh, this vibration equation we are going to study. So let's start with the first method, that is equilibrium method. So I will just erase all this. So I will just draw the spring mass damper system. So first of all, let's draw a support to which a spring has been attached. So this is a free support. So here spring has been attached. So I'll just consider this as an axis for support axis. So now we are not attaching any mass to it now. So this is having an unstrained, unconstrained or unstrained position. So now in the second position, suppose we are attaching some mass. So it is not in vibratory motion, just I have attached a mass m. Okay, so I have just attached a mass m. So now you can see that from this position the spring has been stretched up to some distance. So suppose that distance we may call it as delta. So we will call that distance as delta, and let's assume let's name the stiffness of the spring as k. So we will say the stiffness of the spring as k. So this is the first position where no mass is attached. This is the second position where mass has been attached, but it is in a stationary position. So now in the third position, so uh, we'll go to the third position, that is when it is moving in a vibratory motion. So before that we will just draw a spring free body diagram. So the weight of this mass will act in downward direction, so that will be W equal to mg. And as it is stationary, so according to Newton's law, so an equal and opposite force must be acting in opposite direction. So that force is k delta. So k is spring stiffness and delta is the amount of displacement done by the spring. So we got our first equation, that is W is equal to mg is equal to k delta from our second equation. Now we will move to the third position. So what is the third position? So third position is here the spring is moving in up and down direction, that is it is moving in vibratory motion. So now what will happen that, so this is the equilibrium position, so where the mass is resting, so this is the equilibrium position. So from this equilibrium position, so the spring will move in up and down direction. So suppose, so let me draw it again. So suppose the spring has been moving from this to this direction. So suppose this is the equilibrium position, so it is moving in positive x direction and it is moving in negative x direction. So here the mass is the same, so it will oscillate between these two positions. So that is maximum and minimum position from the equilibrium position. So it will move in downward direction and it will move in upward direction. So it will move with a certain distance, that is x. So now let's draw the free body diagram of this system. So if I draw a free body diagram, so what will I get? So first, the first thing is that is mass, that is mass weight force, that is mg. Okay, and same the opposite, that is k delta, that is spring force. That two are equal, so it will just cancel out. So we will not use this two term again and again because this two term gets cancelled out. So what is the remaining term? So the remaining term, that is it has been moved with a distance x, so that is k into x, so that is k into x. So that is uh, if I just sum both the forces, so what will I get is it is k into delta plus x. So I will get the force is k into delta plus x. So that is k into delta plus x, and here it is mg. So now as we know that mg and k delta gets cancelled out, so the kx force is an unbalanced force. So but according to Newton's law, that when a system is in equilibrium, so an equal and opposite force will act. So to balance this force, a restoring force, that is inertia force will be acting. So I will just write for the second free body diagram, that is inertia forces is equal to sum of all the external forces. So all the forces sum will be equal to inertia force. So what is the sum of all the external forces? So we will see one by one. So here, so sign convention, downward we are taking as positive and upward is negative. Sum of all external forces will be, that is mg mg minus, or you can call it w, minus k delta minus kx. So as we know from the first equation that mg is equal to k delta, so inertia force will be minus kx. So now what is the formula for the force from the Newton's law? So the formula for the force is uh, F it is F is equal to ma. But before writing the formula for the force, just we need to remember that this is an important equation, that is force, that is F is equal to minus kx. So now we'll move further, that is F is equal to ma. So a is nothing but acceleration, so I can write it as d square x by dt square. So that is second derivative of distance, so minus kx. So I will just bring all the terms on the left hand side, so d square x by dt square plus kx equal to 0. Now just dividing all the terms by m, so I will get d square x by dt square plus k by m, x equal to 0. So now this is this term, this equation is similar to the equation of simple harmonic motion. So the equation of simple harmonic motion, it is that is d square x upon dt square plus omega square x equal to 0. So now we'll compare this both equation. So by comparing this equation, we get that omega square is equal to k by m. So omega, that is natural frequency, omega n is equal to under root k by m. So this is angular frequency. We want to find the linear frequency, so that is twice pi, so that is 1 upon 2 pi under root k by m. Okay, so this linear frequency is angular frequency. We will generally use the angular frequency most often. Okay, so this is the equation of motion of the spring mass system, it is d square x by dt square plus k by m x. Now we will use this general notation that whenever any term is derived derivative of time, so we will call it as x dot. If any term is a derivative of space, we will call it as x dash. Okay, so similarly if it is a second derivative, so we'll call it x double dot. Similarly here it is second derivative of space, we'll call x double dash. So this notation I will use again and again. So you need to remember that x d square x by dt square is x double dot. So now let's move to the another method. So before moving to the another method, so we have I will just rewrite this equation here. So omega n is equal to under root k by m. So as we know that from the first equation that mg is equal to k delta. So I'll just rearrange this equation as k by m. So what I get is g by delta is equal to k by m. So I can write this equation as equal to under root g by delta. Now g is a gravitational acceleration, which value we can find or which we know, it is 9.81. So if we take square root of 9.81, so we'll get 0.4985 divided by delta. So this equation is only useful when we have delta. This delta is given, and this equation is more useful if mass and damper stiffness is given. So according to the application, we can use both the equations wherever required. Now what will be the uh, unit of frequency? So for frequency, linear frequency, it is 1 upon second, that is hertz. For angular frequency, omega n, the value is radian per second, we can call it radian per second. So this method is called the first equilibrium method. It can also be called as Newton's method. So the next method is energy method. So we'll discuss the next method. So next method is energy method. So as the name suggests, energies. So what which types of energies are there? So there are two types of energy involved, that is kinetic energy and potential energy. So there is kinetic energy and potential energy. So we know that kinetic energy is due to the motion of the body, and while the potential energy is due to the position of the body. So which is equal to the amount of work required to move the body from any position. So in case of vibration, the mean position is the equilibrium position, that is in between, so at which the potential energy of the body or system is zero. So I will just draw again the system. So suppose this is the mass m. So this is the mean position or equilibrium position. So it is moving from here to here. So this is x minus x. So this is the mean position. So here the potential energy will be equal to 0. So at the mean position, the potential energy body will be 0. So in the free vibration, so here the mean position is potential energy is 0, so kinetic energy will be maximum. And at the extreme position, here potential energy will be maximum and kinetic energy will be 0. Similarly here potential energy will be maximum but kinetic energy will be 0. So as you can see that the total of kinetic energy and potential energy is a constant term. So that is kinetic energy plus potential energy is a constant term. That is some value that is maximum. So if we take derivation of the constant term, so what we'll get, we will get 0. So uh, if we take d by dt of this term, so d by dt of any constant term will be equal to 0. So uh, uh, we will solve this equation. So first, what is the kinetic energy? So kinetic energy, as we know that it is 1 half mv square. V is velocity. So we will write velocity as the notation as I mentioned before, that is x dot. So that is 1 half mx dot square. Similarly, what will be the potential energy? So potential energy here, it is force into displacement, that is fx. This is force into displacement, that is fx. So it will be, the potential energy will be 1 by 2 force into displacement. So from where do I get this formula? So if I draw a graph of force versus displacement, suppose force and displacement of a spring mass damper system. So as the force increases, if we are giving force, if the force here, if we are not giving, if the force on the system is some force, so the displacement is also linear, so we will get a straight line. So as force increases, the displacement increases. So area under this curve, so area under this curve will be the potential energy. So what is the area under this curve? So the area under this curve is, this is a right angle triangle. So to find the area of the triangle, that is half, so area of the triangle is half altitude into base. So suppose this maximum force is, suppose that is F, and this distance traveled is x. So this distance, this is F and this is x. So altitude will be 1 by 2 F into base x. Now what is the formula of this force F? So that we know that F is equal to, that is kx. So F is equal to kx into x. So we'll get potential energy is equal to 1 by 2 kx square. So potential energy is 1 by 2 kx square, and the kinetic energy we have got is 1 by 2 mv square. So that is 1 by 2 mv square, or 1 by 2 mx dot square, and potential energy is 1 by 2 kx square. So we will use this both equations, potential energy and kinetic energy, in this equation. Is d by dt of kinetic energy plus potential energy is equal to d by dt of constant, that is equal to 0. So uh, let's add the terms. So that is kinetic energy plus potential energy, and its derivative d by dt is equal to 0. So kinetic energy is 1 by 2 m x dot square, that is 1 by 2 mv square, plus potential energy is 1 by 2 k x square. So this we are going to differentiate with respect to time. So that is d by dt is equal to 0. So let's take constant out. So 1 by 2 m is out. So derivative of this term is x dot square. So it will be 2 will come out, and x dot 2 minus 1, that will be the 1, and derivation of x dot will be x double dot, plus similarly here derivation is 1 by 2 k is constant. So again 2 will come out, uh, then x, so is square, so 2 minus 1 will be 1, and derivation of x will be x dot equal to 0. So if I take out the common terms, it is 1 by 2 and 2, 1 by 2 and 2 gets cancelled, so here also 1 by 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So here x dot and x dot are common, so if I take common on the other side, so what we are left with, it is mx double dot plus kx dot is equal to 0. So if I divide this equation by m, so x double dot plus k by m, uh, sorry, here it will be just x, not x dot, because x dot we have taken as common, so we are left with just x. So k by m, x equal to 0. So as you can see that the same equation which we derived from the energy equilibrium method, so the same equation which we derived from the equilibrium method, that is d square x by dt square upon plus k by m x equal to 0. So the same formula we have derived here. Here x double dot is d square x by dt square plus k by m x equal to 0. So here again we can compare it with the SHM equation. So as we know that SHM equation is x double dot plus omega square x equal to 0. So omega square is equal to k by m, therefore omega is equal to under root k by m. Okay, so for linear frequency we can write is f is equal to 1 by 2 pi under root k by m, and this is the natural frequency, so we will denote with the symbol n, omega n. So this is the second method, that is the energy method. So now we will see the third method, that is relay method. So what did relay said? So the relay said that, so as we know that the maximum kinetic energy at mean position, so at the equilibrium position, is equal to the maximum potential energy at the extreme positions, because when kinetic energy is maximum, the potential is zero, and when potential is maximum, the kinetic is zero. So so the total is as same. So the both kinetic and potential at maximum would be the same. So assuming this principle, the relay is going to derive the same equation which we derived by the last two methods. So let's assume that so as we know that this vibration is having a simple harmonic motion, so it is an SHM. So suppose the displacement value, that is displacement uh, is caused by a simple harmonic motion, so it will follow the path or equation, that is sine omega t, x equal to x sine omega t, where capital X is a constant and t is time period and omega is natural frequency and it is sinusoidal. You can take also cos, doesn't matter. So what will be the dx by dt, or we can call it as x dot. So it will be x sine, derivation of sine would be cos omega t into omega. So that will be into omega. So if we are finding the maximum kinetic energy, so what is the formula for kinetic energy? There is 1 half mv square, or we can call it as 1 half mx dot square. So we need to find x dot. So maximum kinetic energy will be 1 half m into x cos omega t omega. Now this maximum kinetic energy is at which position? So it is at mean position. Sorry, so this is the mean position. So here when time t equal to 0, uh, the energy, kinetic energy is maximum. So if we take t equal to 0, so what will be the value of x dot? So x dot will be cos 0, it will be 1. So x dot will be x into omega. So the maximum kinetic energy will be just x into omega, or we can call it as omega x. So this is the value of just velocity. So this is the value of, sorry, this is the value of velocity. So the maximum kinetic energy would be 1 half m into velocity square, that is omega x square. So that is 1 by 2 m omega x square. So similarly we will find the maximum potential energy. So what is the maximum potential energy? So that we know, that is 1 half kx square. So it is 1 half kx square. So similarly, so this will be 1 half k, and what is x? So x is x sine omega t. So when this term will be maximum, when sine will be 1, it will be 1 half kx square. So this both term, kinetic energy and potential energy term, must be equal to, must be both be equal. So maximum kinetic energy must be equal to maximum potential energy according to relay. So that is 1 by 2 m omega x square is equal to 1 by 2 k x square. So 1 by 2 cancel, k square cancel, and sorry, here also omega square, because omega x whole square it is. So omega square will be equal to k by m. So omega is equal to under root k by m. So the same equation of natural frequency we have obtained from this method of relay, but here we have just got the relation directly and not the equation, but we have got the same result with the help of relay method. So generally we will use the first and second method more frequently, and less used is the third method for the example. So we will see examples in the next lecture. So thank you very much.